Finding the best public school is a priority for many families. A good education is important to these families, who may even choose, where they purchase or rent housing, to ensure their children are in the best public school systems. There are about 51 million public school students in the United States. While far from perfect, public schools play a vital role in their respective communities. Public schools improve their communities, and the welfare of children. Public schools welcome all children, no matter their income level, disability, or previous academic performance. Many schools provide school meals, which helps children from food insecure families get nutritious food every day. The better the public school, the more likely students will achieve higher educational attainment. While there is no comprehensive way to measure what public schools are the best in the nation, a few surveys look at data, including high school graduation rates, and college readiness, to determine which states have the best schools. So, we have taken those data, and made a list of states with the best public schools. Do you like to know what are those? Let's see then. WalletHub ranked each state's public schools for quality and safety using 33 relevant metrics. Metrics included high school graduation rate among low-income students, math and reading scores, median SAT and ACT scores, pupil-teach ratio, the share of armed students, number of school shootings between 2000 and June 2020 bullying incidence rate, and more. Based on these metrics, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New Jersey have the best public schools in the United States. Massachusetts has the best public school system in the U.S. 48.8% of Massachusetts's eligible schools, ranked in the top 25% of high school rankings, a total of 167 schools. Massachusetts has the highest math and reading test scores in the U.S. and the second highest median ACT score of 25.1. Massachusetts also has one of the lowest bullying incidence rates in the country, and is considered one of the best states for teachers. Massachusetts is also the most educated state in the country. Connecticut ranks second in the nation for public schools, ranking second for quality and 19th for safety. Connecticut students have the highest median ACT score of 25.5, and have the third highest reading test scores. Connecticut spends about $18,958 per student, one of the highest per pupil spendings in the country. Connecticut is also one of the best states for teachers, due to having small class sizes, and some of the best paid teachers in the U.S. with an average annual salary of $73,113. New Jersey has the third best public schools in the United States. New Jersey has the second lowest dropout rate among states, and the third lowest pupil-to-teacher ratio. Additionally, students have the third highest math test scores, and the second highest reading test scores in the nation. New Jersey ranks second for the overall quality of schools and 11th for safety. The state spends about $21,866 per student on average. New Jersey is considered the second best state for teachers, with the sixth highest average salary of $69,917 per year. Virginia has the fourth best public schools overall in the United States, ranking fourth for quality and third for safety. Virginia public schools were found to have the fourth highest math test scores in the country. Virginia schools also have the fourth lowest bullying incidence rate, and have no significant shortcomings when assessed for safety from violence, bullying, harassment, and substance use. Vermont has the fifth best public schools in the nation. Vermont ranks 8th for quality, having the lowest pupil-to-teacher ratio in the country, allowing teachers to give each student extra attention. The average teacher ratio in the U.S. is 16:1, while Vermont's is 10.5:1. Vermont also ranks 4th for safety, tied for first with Massachusetts and Oklahoma, for having the lowest percentage of threatened high school students. New Hampshire has the 6th best public schools in the United States, ranking 7th for quality and 6th for safety. New Hampshire schools have the 4th highest reading test scores among states, and the 2nd highest median ACT score of 25.1. Additionally, New Hampshire has the 5th lowest pupil-to-teacher ratio of about 12:1. Minnesota ranks 6th overall for the best public schools. Minnesota ranks 6th for quality. Minnesota students have the 2nd highest math test scores in the U.S. and are tied with Wisconsin for having the highest median SAT score. Minnesota schools' median SAT score is 1,298. Despite this, there have been concerns over the state's declining performance in reading and math scores over the last few years. Luckily, graduation rates have increased for all student groups in Minnesota public schools. Wisconsin has the 8th best public schools in the U.S. The state ranks 5th for quality, tying with Minnesota for the highest median SAT score. Wisconsin's pupil-to-teacher ratio is 15:1, lower than the U.S. average. Ranking 9th for public schools in Delaware, which ranks 15 for quality and 2nd for safety. Delaware has the 2nd lowest bullying incident rate, only 2nd to D.C. The average ACT score is 24.1, higher than the U.S. average, but the pupil-to-teacher ratio is 22:1. Finishing the top 10 list of best public schools by state is Maryland. Maryland's average ACT score is 22.3, and its average SAT score is 1,058. The pupil-to-teacher in Maryland is 15:1, below the national average. In some countries, there is a great deal of emphasis put on school rankings. Sometimes the government is responsible for school rankings. Attaining some jobs in the public sector will depend on graduation from a highly ranked institution. However, in the United States, all school rankings are unofficial. They are produced by book and magazine publishers and sold to the public. Rankings in one publication are often different from those in another. In our opinion, these so-called rankings should not be considered definitive. For example, many of the factors that go into such unofficial estimates do not pertain to international students very strongly at all, and relying on such a ranking could be self-defeating. We encourage you to look for factors that fit your needs, not just the overall reputation of a particular U.S. university or program. It may well be that a school with a lower unofficial ranking may in fact be the best choice for your particular circumstances. In other words, the U.S. has over 3,000 accredited colleges and universities. Don't restrict your search unnecessarily. But in here for your information, we have brought how ranking will be the public schools by 2021. But as we mentioned at last, don't try to look at the rankings unnecessarily. So, if you got this video helpful, don't forget to give a thumbs up to the video. Share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.